Published 16:53 Eastern Standard Time, the 24th of January 2018. Updated 16:53 Eastern Standard Time, the 24th of January 2018. A goal and an assist. Not the worst night for Antonio Rudiger. Unfortunately, the goal was Arsenal's first half equaliser, the assist, their second half winner. Not that Rudiger could have done much about either. They were hapless deflections, that is all. Scruffy influence on what was often a scruffy game. Not that Arsenal were complaining. This win takes them to Wembley again, for the first domestic cup final after the last visit in May. Manchester City will be favourites on the day, of course, but so were Chelsea over two legs here. Arsenal were decent value for their win, though, even if Chelsea will rue the chances missed in the first game. Eden Hazard winces as he plays the ball past David Ospina to put Chelsea 1-0 up inside 7 minutes at the Emirates. Hazard was joined by Chelsea teammate Victor Moses just in front of the home supporters after putting his side ahead. The match was level just a few minutes later when Antonio Rudiger, inadvertently headed past his own goalkeeper Nacho Monreal, whose initial header sparked a double deflection off Marcos Alonso, and Rudiger wheels away to celebrate. Granit Xhaka was the man to complete Arsenal's turnaround in the second half as he poked a shot over Willy Caballero's body. Jack Wilshere and Alex Iwobi join the celebratory huddle as Arsenal players celebrate taking a step closer to Wembley. Wilshere is one of only two players remaining from Arsenal's last League Cup final appearance. Laurent Koscielny is the other. The winner came after 60 minutes, Arsenal having fought back from an early goal down. Alexandre Lacazette, quiet otherwise, held the ball up well on the right against Andreas Christensen, before attempting a cross which clipped the legs of Rudiger. Having already diverted the ball into his own net with his head, he could have done with a break. He didn't get it. The rebound took the ball directly to Granit Xhaka, who prodded it past second-string goalkeeper Willy Caballero. Oh well. A Carabao Cup final appearance was hardly going to influence the long-term future of Chelsea manager Antonio Conte. These things do matter to Arsenal though. They may be losing ground in the league, but he has turned them into an excellent cup side. Alex Iwobi should have wrapped the game up with 14 minutes remaining, but hit his shot directly at Caballero with plenty of time and space. Made for a very nervous closing spell, particularly when Eden Hazard got on the ball. The home fans were already full of misplaced outrage, mistakenly believing he should have been sent off for a second-half dive. Hazard had already been booked for a foul on Mesut Ozil and was through on goal, but lost his footing, and fell. Yet what would once have been a source of merriment was now a cause for anger. The locals wanted him booked for diving, and therefore sent off. It would have been a travesty. There was no appeal from Hazard, no attempt to make capital of the situation. He tripped. That was all. Footballers have to be free to fall over without being accused of simulation. Sometimes it truly is slippery out there. In the first 5 minutes, Chelsea thought they were ahead, but Pedro's header was rightly ruled out for offside by the linesman. Hazard made sure of the early goal just 2 minutes later though, as Ospina couldn't do enough to push the ball wide. The Belgian screams with delight as he celebrates in front of the distraught Arsenal fans at the Emirates Stadium. Mesut Ozil and his Arsenal teammates stroll back to their positions after conceding an early goal in the semi-final clash. The poor souls who paid good money for the first leg of this must have followed the rematch with envy. There was more action, and goals, in the first 12 minutes than they enjoyed in 90 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea had the ball in the net, disallowed on a tight but offside call after 5 minutes, scored legitimately after 7, and saw the lead erased 5 minutes later. And those were not the only opportunities in a frenetic opening spell. It was more like the league game here, earlier this month, which finished 2-2 and could have been 5-5. At times it resembled one of those pick-up games over the park, players doing as they pleased with scant regard for shape, or one of those title fights that is more like a scrap. Only as the teams settled did the game become more structured and the defenses begin to hold sway. But it was fun while it lasted. The VAR was in play on Wednesday night, as the Carabao Cup continued its random quest for truth, and Michael Oliver used it at the first opportunity. Cesar Azpilicueta clipped the ball through. Pedro sprinted away from Arsenal's back line and steered a header past David Ospina. It looked too good to be true, and was. Scott Ledger's flag was up and the VAR rerun showed him to be correct. Pedro was off, but not by much. Arsenal could not afford to leave gaps in the ranks like that again. Being Arsenal, they failed to learn this rather obvious lesson. So 2 minutes later, they paid. It was a lovely, fluent passing move, started by N'Golo Kante, who fed the ball into Pedro, his deft flick finding Eden Hazard exploiting a hole in the middle of Arsenal's defence that the team bus could have driven through. Unlike Alvaro Morata, who missed 3 one-on-one chances at Stamford Bridge in the first leg, Hazard made no mistake, slipping the ball past Ospina with a minimum fuss. Chelsea's lead did not last long though, as Monreal's header first took a hefty deflection off the head of Spaniard Alonso from Alonso. The ball then struck Rudiger's head, unbeknownst to him, before flying into the back of the Chelsea net. Caballero could do nothing about Arsenal's equaliser after the ball was deflected away from him by 2 of his own defenders. Rudiger and Andreas Christensen stand stranded in their own penalty box after watching Arsenal level up the cup tie. Arsenal should have equalised within 2 minutes, and it was unfortunate that the one English player on the pitch was probably the reason they didn't. Jack Wilshere has been in great form for Arsenal of late, but his touch when put through by Alex Iwobi was poor. Iwobi pinged it, yes, but the best teams often do, and Wilshere's attempt at control diverted the ball into the path of goalkeeper Willy Caballero, who saved at his feet. Caballero sustained a minor injury but carried on. It was good news for Chelsea with Thibaut Courtois already out, but Eduardo remained on standby. It is fair to say Caballero's knock had no influence on Arsenal's equaliser, however. No goalkeeper could have kept the ball out from its zigzag path to goal. A Hector Bellerin ball across the face of goal was put out from a corner, and when it returned to the box, Nacho Monreal won a header. From there, the ball took on a life of its own. It hit Marcos Alonso on the head, rebounded off the head of Antonio Rudiger and defeated Caballero utterly. He might have reacted to the first ricochet, but the second left him stranded. Chelsea then should have gone ahead again in the 20th minute, when a great dummy from Hazard left Willian in space. The Brazilian snatched at his shot, however, which he screwed wide. It was the last significant part he would play in the game, withdrawn soon after with what looked like hamstring trouble, and replaced by Ross Barkley, on his debut. It was May last year when Barkley last played a competitive first-team kick, but he was immediately involved, clattered to the ground by Wilshere, which earned the Arsenal man a booking, before conceding a foul in a dangerous area. Xhaka's attempt deflected over the bar. Just before half-time, Mesut Ozil had a shot deflected wide by Azpilicueta, Arsenal ending in the ascendancy, even if trailing on away goals. Ross Barkley was able to make his Chelsea debut from the bench in the first half when he replaced injured midfielder Willian. Barkley had not played all season but was given a feisty welcome by Wilshere, who earned himself an early yellow card. There was another new man in the stadium as Henrik Mkhitaryan watched on from behind the Arsenal bench on Wednesday. Caballero makes a fingertips save from Arsenal's star man Ozil as the German watches on shortly before the half-time whistle. The VAR system was ready and waiting to be used at the side of the pitch in Wednesday's Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. Arsenal centre-forward Alexandre Lacazette tries to hold up the ball under significant pressure from Chelsea's Rudiger.